Hi guys, today we are going to make some Korean food using gochujang. If you don't know what it is, gochujang is a hot pepper paste, so if you like spicy food, this is perfect for you. If you don't like spicy food, you don't have to add much, or there is actually other version of gochujang, which is most of it in like a green box. You can use that one, it's mild. I prepared a menu of Korean food for you today. First, we are going to make kimbap. You already heard about it. Second of all, we're going to make japchae. Japchae is a mix of tangmyeon, which are noodles, and vegetables. And we are going to make spicy tofu together. I tried to make a vegan menu with a spicy tofu and vegetarian option. I also made kimbap will be with tuna and japchae will be without meat. Normally japchae is supposed to be with beef, so you can definitely add beef or other meat with it, but to open for everybody today I wanted to do something more vegetables and more vegan as much as I can. So I hope you're ready because we have a lot of things to do today. 어때요? 아, 아니야. 맛있어. 너무 맛있어. 안녕.